Over 2,700 years ago, in the sun-soaked valley of Olympia, a tradition was born that would echo through history: the Olympic Games. But these weren't the global spectacles we know today. There were no stadium lights, no medals, no international delegations, just dust, muscle, and the roar of a Greek crowd as men, naked, determined, and burning with pride, competed not for money, but for eternal glory. These were the original Olympians, and they were unlike any athletes the modern world has ever seen. The earliest Olympic athletes were exclusively freeborn Greek men. Citizenship was everything. Only those who belonged to the city-states of Greece, like Sparta, Athens, or Corinth, could compete. Foreigners, slaves, and women were completely excluded from the Games. In fact, women weren't even allowed to watch, though they had their own separate festival, the Heraean Games. These restrictions made the Olympics a fiercely nationalistic event, where athletes carried not just personal ambition, but the pride of their entire city on their shoulders. Training for the Olympics was serious, rigorous, and entirely manual. Athletes practiced in gymnasia, open-air spaces designed for physical and mental training. There were no professional coaches or sports science. Training was largely self-directed or guided by mentors. Competitors trained for years, mastering events like running, wrestling, boxing, javelin throwing, and the brutal pankration, a deadly mix of boxing and wrestling with almost no rules. They competed fully nude, a nod to the Greek admiration for the human body and a sign of equality among athletes. To the Greeks, the perfect body represented divine favor and human excellence. Unlike today's professional athletes, ancient Olympians were amateurs in the truest sense. They were soldiers, farmers, artisans, ordinary men who stepped into the arena for honor, not payment. Yet, a victory could elevate them to near mythical status. Winners were celebrated like heroes in their home cities. Some were immortalized in statues and poems. Others were rewarded with privileges like free meals for life, money, or even political influence. Competing was a test of not just physical prowess, but of character, discipline, and patriotism. Their diets were simple: grains, figs, olives, meats, without any modern supplements or recovery tools. Yet, Greek culture emphasized balance, the harmony between body and mind. Athletes were expected to cultivate not just strength but wisdom and self-control. This holistic approach made the ideal Olympian not just a competitor, but a symbol of moral and civic virtue. As centuries passed, the nature of the Olympics changed. By the Roman period, the Games had become more of a spectacle, and some athletes began to receive financial rewards. Fast forward to the modern era, and Olympic athletes are now full-time professionals. Today's competitors train with cutting-edge technology, data analysis, personalized coaching, and scientifically optimized diets. They have sponsorship deals, medical teams, and access to global resources. The scope of the Games has expanded too. Women are now fully included, and athletes from every continent compete in highly specialized events. Yet despite all these changes, the spirit of the Games, the relentless pursuit of excellence, the hunger for victory, and the desire to push human limits remains unchanged. The original Olympians may not have had high-tech shoes or digital timers, but they carried the same fire. In every modern race, every leap, every throw, the echo of ancient Olympia lives on.